Hey guys, this is Karan Binani from Mobi Scrub and we're reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Tab S, the 16GB titanium bronze 4G LTE version. So let's begin with the specifications. It's running Android 4.4.2 KitKat out of the box. It's got a 1.9 GHz quad-core processor with 3GB of RAM, a brilliant 2560 by 1600 pixel 10.5 inch Super AMOLED vibrant display. It's got 16GB internal memory with 9GB available for user purposes. Extremely thin, 6.6 millimeters, and it's got a great battery life. At the back, you've got a really nice, soft, matte finish, dotted leather thing. It's really plastic, but it doesn't feel like plastic at all. It really gives you a good grip. The home screen button also doubles as a fingerprint scanner. At the top, you've got a volume rocker, you've got the power and lock key, and you've got the IR LED port. So basically, you can use it to change channels and control your television or your set-top box, etc. On the right edge, you've got a MicroSD card slot, you've got the MicroSIM card slot, a USB 2.0 data syncing and charging port. The Tab comes with stereo speakers, so when you're gaming or if you're watching a movie, an HD movie, the sound quality is amazing because you've got these stereo speakers on the left and the right side of the tablet. Although it's a really large 10.5-inch tablet, it's still smaller than the 12.2 Note Pro that the Samsung came out with. It's really light, it's just about 467 grams. The whole thing feels really premium because of the choice of material. It's soft and it's got a leather finish with the dotted pattern, gives you really good grip. The thing is, the whole thing is sealed, so you've got no access to battery, so it's got irremovable or not replaceable batteries. You've got a 8 megapixel camera with LED flash, and trust me guys, compared to any other tablet I've ever seen, this camera is really good. Again, just to emphasize on how good the grip is, if it's lying on a table, it's not going to easily slide, so that's a really good thing. And to top it all, I think the titanium bronze finish, the metal finish, is really, really good. I love it, and I think it's the best color in Tab S. Talking about the Android version, it's running Android 4.4.2 KitKat with the latest version of TouchWiz that we've seen in the Note Pro and we've seen in the Galaxy S5 as well. So the 10.5-inch screen with the resolution of 2560 pixels by 1600 pixels is simply amazing. It's so rich, the Super AMOLED screen. It's got vibrant colors, and as you can see, it's out of the world. And you're just seeing it from a camera's perspective. You really have to be in my place to see how good this is. We'll talk more about the display a little later, but just to take you through the interface, so, you have multiple home screens, you've got pages that you can develop on your own. Pages are basically, a combination of widgets placed together with information that's more relevant to you. So for example, here, I have the calendar widget, I have the email widget, I think, and then there's one more. Anyway, the point being that you can move these around. You can change the layout if you want. Looks like the Indian flag. Anyway, again, you have a bunch of widgets that you can choose from. You can choose to add Times of India news feed here or the Flipboard news feed, whatever. So you can pretty much create your own page, very unlike the home screens that you see on TouchWiz interface. From an apps perspective, there are not a lot of preloaded apps, and that's a good thing because it saves you a lot of space. But you've got the entire Google suite of apps. You've got Watch On, you've got S-Voice, which I don't know how much of S-Voice you're really going to use with a tablet. None of these games, MC4, that's Modern Combat 4, FIFA 2014, or Asphalt 8 comes preloaded. I have installed these on top. If you want access to the Samsung goodies or the apps that usually roll with the product, you can just go to Galaxy Essentials or Galaxy Premium Gifts, something like that. So you can install Scrapbook, you've got Story Album, S-Note, your Samsung Gear Fit Manager, Group Play, Samsung Link, or you've got S-Translator. So all of these things you can install on top. Okay, so again, you save a lot of space because none of these come preloaded, and a lot of people regard that as bloatware because it slows your device down. But anyway, you've got the option to download any and all of these apps on top. But mind you, you've only got 9 GB of internal space. So, you can't install a lot of apps. The display is amazing. As you can see, the clarity, it's 2560 by 1600 pixels. Imagine how many pixels are there to give you a really nice, detailed look. And colors are simply amazing. I think it's one of the first few tablets to come with Super AMOLED display. And Super AMOLED is known for vibrant, rich, eye-popping colors. And as you can see, guys, this is brilliant. I mean, out-of-the-world display. From a navigation perspective, you've got the Task Manager button. Press that and you can get access to all the apps that are open. You can close them if you want to. You've got the Return key. You've got the App Manager, or basically the app drawer. And then you've got a My Files button, dedicated button on the left side. And this is pretty handy because, you can pretty much access all your files just the way you do on a computer. So you can, again, different view styles are there. So small icons, large icon, thumbnails, list items, detailed, whatever you want. So it's really handy that way. The navigation panel, or the notification panel, basically, again, so you've got the round, minimalist, flat icons that Samsung came out with in the Samsung Galaxy S5. The same design language has been used in the Galaxy Tab S as well. You've got a bunch of new things like Toolbox. You've got touch sensitivity. Then you've got download booster. I'll talk about that. You've got ultimate power saving. So all the new features, and private mode, of course. So all the new features that came with the Samsung Galaxy S5 are there in the Galaxy Tab S. And that makes sense because this is, again, one of the most expensive devices that Samsung's come out with. So Toolbox, just enable that and you get access to 5 apps that you use the most. And this Toolbox icon is going to overlay on top of everything that you do for instant access. And of course, you can change those apps if you wanted to. Adapt Display is something that Samsung came out with, and basically it adapts to, depending on whether you're using a video player or you're looking at a photo or you're looking at, or you're listening to music, whatever, it automatically adjusts the display to give you the best viewing experience. So always keep it to adaptive display, and that's just my recommendation. Of course, you can then keep it to Super AMOLED cinema mode as well. From a performance perspective, it's got 3 GB of RAM with 1.9 GHz of quad-core processing power. It aligns very well with the best devices out there, the Galaxy S5 or the Note 3 or even the HTC One M8. So guys, it's a powerhouse. So, you're going to get really good performance. Now let's talk about the camera a little bit more. It's got an 8 megapixel camera with LED flash and autofocus. You've got manual focus as well, so you can tap to focus, 4x optical zoom. And I have to admit that from a tablet perspective, I think it's got one of the best cameras I've ever seen. No tablet I have ever seen comes with such a good camera. You've got all the latest modes that came in Galaxy S5. So you've got dual camera, so you can have your front camera and the rear camera active at the same time. You can download more of these if you wanted to, and you can manage them, choose which ones to show, which ones to not show. You've got all the latest filters as well, and you can download new filters, and I'll just talk about that a little more after this. But again, you've got the new interface, the latest interface, for the one that you get in Galaxy S5. So here you go, all the new filters. You've got vintage, you've got faded color, tint, turquoise, grayscale, sepia, fish eye, all of those. And you can download more if you wanted to. So that's pretty good. So there you go. I've just applied the vintage mode. And as you can see, guys, it's coming out really well. Then you've got full HD video recording. So that's 1080p video recording at 30 frames per second. You can choose to pause the video and resume recording again. And you can take pictures even while recording. So still shots while you're recording video at full HD. Now guys, this is a 4G LTE variant, one of the first that Samsung's introduced in the Indian market with 4G capability. You've got download booster. So if you're downloading anything worth more than 30 MB, you can have 4G speeds added to your Wi-Fi speeds to download at much greater speeds. So that's brilliant stuff. Anyway, so 4G is not available in India everywhere right now. Other places like in the US, I think it's a boon because you've got 4G at most places. In GPS, you can choose to see whether you want high accuracy or you want a power saving mode GPS enabled. Whatever works, but of course, you can save battery if you're in power saving mode. From a motions perspective, you've got mute and pause if you put your palm on top, and you can take a screenshot by just swiping your palm over the screen. And because it's Android, you can create multiple users, and different users can log in and do their things just like you do it on a desktop. Also, you've got private mode, so you can choose to hide some files or videos or music or movies or whatever, under private mode, and then you can switch it off or on. You've got a fingerprint scanner, so you can unlock your device using fingerprint scanner. That's the home button. that doubles as a fingerprint scanner. Then you've got multi-window. It's a 10.5-inch screen. Needless to say, Samsung's introduced multi-window in this as well. Unlike the Note Pro, where you could have 4 windows active, here you can only have 2 windows active at the same time. But that's okay. Who needs 4 screens anyway? 4 apps at the same time. So again, you can have multiple windows open, and you can just slide from the right edge of the screen to drag and drop multiple apps on whichever side of the screen you want. So overall, I think the whole Android KitKat experience with the latest TouchWiz really makes the Tab S a wonderful, pleasant device to own. And even though it's 10.5 inches, it's not that odd to use it in portrait mode if you wanted to read stuff, say on Flipboard or any other news app, because it's so thin and it's lightweight comparatively for a 10.5-inch tablet. It's really not that bad. So you can definitely use it in portrait mode, but of course, I think the landscape mode would just be more convenient. So if you really add everything together, the soft back dotted leather finish, the titanium bronze brushed metal finish, the brilliant 2560 by 1600 pixel Super AMOLED display, and a 1.9 GHz quad-core processor with 3 GB of RAM, you can pretty much do whatever you want with this device. Any tablet would be inferior to the Galaxy Tab S. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up.